Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Hope so, students, you all are fine. Well, we already have discussed chapter number 4, cell cycle, and now we are going to move to the next chapter, and that is the enzymes. Well, an enzyme is a totally unique thing for you. You are going to learn about what is basically the enzyme. But before going on, we should know that what is the metabolism. If we are going to discuss about the life, then what is the life? The life is basically the reflection of what our body is going to do. Whatever is going on in our body, due to these, we are going to get the energy and we are able to survive. So if you're going to say that the life of living organism is reflection of what is going on in their body, then that will be the correct one. Yes, exactly. The life is basically whatever is going on in our body. And the main thing that what is going on in our body is the metabolism. So let's discuss about the metabolism. The metabolism is basically the set of the biochemical reaction that occurs in the living organism to maintain the life. So what actually it means that what are the biochemical reactions? The bio means you know very well that the bio means life, and the chemical reaction is mean that those the all reaction that used to occurs or that used to relevant to the life is known as a biochemical reaction. In chemistry, you used to learn many chemical equations, you used to learn that many reaction is going on, but the reaction which used to or which belongs to a living organism is known as a biochemical reaction. So what is the metabolism, student? The metabolism is basically the series of the biochemical reaction that used to occur in the living organism to maintain the life. Are you getting my point? This means that the metabolism are those biochemical reactions which help us to survive. And how they're actually helping us to survive? Because these biochemical reactions are producing the energy, as well as these biochemical reactions are making our structures. Let's suppose we have learned that okay, the cell reproduce. Yes, cell is reproducing, but how? Obviously, these biochemical reactions used to take place to produce the energy, and this energy is utilized by the cell, and that's why the cell is reproducing, right? So what we get about the metabolism? The metabolism is set of the biochemical reaction that used to occur in the living organism to sustain or to maintain the life. So if we are going to discuss about the metabolism, students, then let me to tell you that the metabolism have basically the two types. So let's discuss about it. Basically, if we are going to discuss about the metabolism, then it have two types. The one is the catabolism and one is the anabolism. So it is very interesting to know kata means to cut. So the catabolism means to break down the large macromolecules into the small molecules. Let's suppose the large molecule, let's suppose you have taken the bread. A bread is a large molecule, and now the reaction, with the help of the biochemical reaction, it will break into the glucose. The bread, or you can say carbohydrate, you know that the bread is a carbohydrate. So this carbohydrate will split into the simple molecule, and that is a glucose, and this glucose will provide the energy to our body. So this is the catabolism. Ana means to join or to combine. So anabolism is basically to convert the smaller molecules into the larger molecules. That is known as the anabolism. So what is the anabolism? Let's suppose, student, our body needs the muscles. So what will happen? The amino acid is a small molecule, and it will then convert into the protein, and this protein will convert into the muscle. So from small molecule into the large molecule. This is known as the anabolism. So metabolism have two types. One is a catabolism and one is the anabolism. And cata means to cut off. It's meant to convert the large molecule into the small molecules. And anabolism is that which is converting the which is converting the small molecule into the large molecules. So if you're going to study from here, then you will get that what they are saying, these processes allow organisms to grow and reproduce and maintain their structure and response to their environment. Yes, student, the metabolism is the biochemical reaction which is actually sustaining the life. So these reactions are helping the organism to grow. Let's suppose you are growing, your bones are growing. How your bones are growing? Obviously some kind of the reaction is going on. This biochemical reaction is known as a metabolism. The cells are reproducing, you are maintaining your structure, and you are responding to your environment. So this all is due to the metabolism, and metabolism is set of the biochemical reaction that used to occur in the living organisms to maintain the life. So as I told you before, that one is the anabolism and other one is the catabolism. So anabolism includes those biochemical reactions in which the larger molecules are synthesized. This means that the large molecules are going to made. While catabolism includes the biochemical reaction in which the larger molecules are broken down and to produce the energy. So energy is released in the catabolism, while in anabolism the energy is utilized. So you can see that beta the large molecule, let's suppose in the catabolism, what happens, you can say that the carbohydrate is converting into the glucose. So it will produce the ATP. It means that it will produce the energy. You know that the body used to get the energy in the form of the ATP, which you have learned in the chapter number 4. And in the anabolism basically utilizes the energy. It is utilizing the energy. So because it is making the larger molecule from the small molecule. Let's suppose if the glucose is converting into the fats. So in that case the energy is required. It will be utilized. So in anabolism the energy is utilized. In this way the biochemical reactions are actually energy transferred. It means that these biochemical reactions are transferring the energy. The catabolism is producing the energy and anabolism is utilizing the energy. So during metabolism, chemicals are transformed from one form to another by the enzymes. Now, what is the enzymes? The enzymes are basically very important for the metabolism, and they are acting as a biocatalyst, and they used to speed up and regulate the metabolic pathway. Now let me explain you student what actually it means. That during metabolism the chemicals are transformed from one form to another. So did you get the meaning of that? You know, like let's suppose during the metabolism is basically the biochemical reaction. Let's discuss one of the reaction of the metabolism. Simply just discuss the example of the photosynthesis. So in photosynthesis student, what is happening? The glucose is produced by the help of the carbohydrate and the water. So in this case what is happening? The small molecules are producing the large molecule. So this is the anabolism. So the anabolism utilizes the energy. That's why we need the sunlight. The sunlight is the one which used to utilize the energy. So sunlight is the one which is the energy. So this reaction is going to accomplish in the presence of the energy. So student, what actually it means that these biochemical reactions are actually under the some important enzymes which used to work on it and which used to enhance the speed of the reaction. Okay, let me to give you a very common example. Let's suppose students that you are eating the bread. Okay, and this bread needs to convert into the glucose, then it will give you the energy, and this glucose will give you the energy. But the when the bread is going to convert into the glucose, when there will be the decomposition of the bread, like let's suppose when the bread is going to break down, then the glucose is going to produce. If there is no biocatalyst, basically students, what is a biocatalyst? First we have to understand. The biocatalysts are the catalyst that helps in the chemical reaction which occurs in the bio, which is belonging with the bio or which is belonging to the life. So those catalysts which are actually involved in the biology, which are actually involved, which have the taking part in the life, is known as a biocatalyst. Now what is the role of the biocatalyst? They used to enhance the speed of reaction. They used to enhance the speed of the reaction. They used to increase the speed of the reaction. Let's suppose in chemistry you might have heard that there are some catalysts which used to speed up the reaction. Let's suppose there's a nickel. Let's suppose there's something else which is actually speeding up the reaction. In same case, there are the catalysts actually helping in the reaction, in those reaction, to speed up those reaction which are actually occurring in the life. So these are known as the biocatalyst. So the biocatalysts are basically the catalysts which are actually increasing the speed of the reaction in life, belonging to the life or in living organism, is known as a biocatalyst. The biocatalyst is basically beta speeding up the reaction. Let's suppose there is a bread, as I told you before, that the bread need to convert into the smaller molecule, that is a glucose, and then this glucose is going to produce the energy, that is a ATP, and this ATP is going to utilized by you. Now, how this bread is going to decompose into the glucose? Obviously, let's suppose if you are going to throw the bread on the table or somewhere else, you will see that it will take 1 week to decompose. मतलब एक हफ्ते के बाद आप देखेंगे कि ब्रेड आहिस्ता आहिस्ता गल सड़ रही है, right? So how the decomposition of the bread become very abruptly in your tummy, means you have eaten the bread, आपने रोटी खाई, or you get the energy. You have taken the bread and you get the energy. How you get the energy so suddenly? In fact, the bread used to take the time for decomposition, but when you are eating the bread used to decompose very abruptly. How? Due to these biocatalysts which are present in us, and they are basically helping to metabolize the bread and to produce the glucose, and this glucose will give us the energy. So this is, beta students, this is basically the biocatalyst. The biocatalyst is enhancing the speed of the composition of the bread to produce the glucose. So if you're going to discuss about the biocatalyst, then basically the biocatalysts are the catalysts that used to enhance the speed of the chemical reaction that occurs in living organism. So this is the biocatalyst. What is the students biocatalyst? The biocatalyst is basically the catalyst which used to enhance the speed of reaction that used to occur in the living organism. So this biocatalyst is also known as the enzyme. So this is basically the enzyme. One of the most interesting things which I want to tell you about the enzyme or the biocatalyst is that yes, it used to speed up the reaction, but other most interesting thing about the enzyme is that they do not utilize their self. They are not utilizing their self. They are only speeding up the reaction. Now what do you mean by utilize? Let's suppose students, if you are cleaning the, let's suppose if you are cleaning the washroom, you will put the detergent in it. The washroom will be cleaned, but detergent will be vanished. Detergent जो है वो खत्म हो गया. Detergent will be now wiped out. Similarly, if you are brushing your teeth, you are using the tube. Let's suppose you are using any kind of the any brand, like it could be Colgate, it could be soda white, whatever you are using to brush your teeth. Now what will happen? You're brushing your teeth are going to clean, but one day that tube or the Colgate will finish, right? But in the case of the enzyme, they are speeding up the reaction, but they are not utilizing their self. It means that this is the enzyme. This enzyme has speed up the reaction, any chemical reaction, any bioreaction. At the end, what we are going to get? We are going to get back enzyme in the same way. It is not like that the enzyme is utilizing itself. No, the enzyme is basically speeding up the reaction. Let me to explain you in this way. Listen to me very carefully, students. Let's suppose, students, there is a reaction between AB and it is producing the C. What do you mean by this? Let's suppose this is the carbon dioxide is A and water is B, and it is producing the glucose. Now you have seen that this carbon dioxide and water, they both have utilized their self and produced the glucose. But in the case of the enzyme, now in the case of the enzyme, let's suppose this reaction needs enzyme. Now what will happen? In the case of the enzyme, what will happen? Let's suppose the A and B product needs enzyme to produce the A and B reactant needs enzymes to produce a product that is C and D. Now what? The enzyme after the reaction will be back. This enzyme is not going to utilize itself. We are going to get back the enzyme in the original position, in the original quantity, in the original quality. So enzyme is we are going to get back the enzyme after the reaction. Though the reactant have utilized their self to produce a new product C and D. There is no more A and B. No, after the production of the product, there is only C and D. Now what is happening here, student? But enzyme is not utilizing itself. The enzyme will remain same before the reaction and after the reaction. Before the reaction and after the reaction. So hope so you get that. So hope so you get the statement. The statement is that during metabolism, chemicals are transformed from one form to another by enzymes. Let's suppose A and B are the chemicals which are going to produce the products C and D, but with the help of the enzyme. So these enzymes are very important, the basic for the metabolism, because they act as a biocatalyst. So biocatalyst is the one which used to speed up the enzyme and regulate metabolic pathway. Regulate means that beta, it used to regulate the metabolic pathway. Let's suppose कि कहीं पे metabolic pathway रुक ना जाए, there should be no pause in the metabolic pathway. The metabolic activity is going to continue. यानी कि once you have taken the bread and after 4 days you are going to get the energy. No, you have taken the meal, you are going to get energy after half an hour. Let's suppose if you are taking the juice, you are going to get the energy just after 15 minutes or the 5 minutes you are going to get the energy. So how this reaction is so abruptly, how it is too much fast that you have taken the meal and you are getting the energy in next 15 minutes. So obviously this is due to the enzymes. This is due to the biocatalyst, which used to speed up the enzymes as well as which used to speed up the reaction as well as used to regulate the reaction. Hope so you get the lecture. If anything is not clear, watch the video again and again, and inshallah you will get it. Tomorrow we are going to discuss about enzymes in further detail. Stay blessed. Allah Hafiz. Take care of yourself. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.